today's video, I'll be doing a story on Nat King Cole's classic 1960 album, Wild as Love, and the story behind it. Before we get started, please take a moment to like and subscribe to my channel. I really would appreciate it. Let's get started. In the spring of 1958, songwriters Dodie Wayne and Ray Rausch were good friends with pianist Eddie Beale. Rausch had been working with Beale for quite a while and was good friends with Nat. Both of the songwriters was able to convince Nat to record a song called My Heart's Treasure, which was featured in the album To Whom It May Concern in 1958. Later on that year, both songwriters pitched the idea to Nat about doing Wild as Love. But before Nat could commit to the project, he would have to listen to the songs. Both of the songwriters worked feverishly to complete this whole project. Dodie Wayne remembers going over to Nat's house in Hancock Park, but when she got there, she remembered that Nat wasn't home. Well, they had a little girl playing in the yard, and that little girl happened to be Nat's daughter, Natalie Cole. She goes in and presented the music to the young Natalie Cole, and then when Nat got home, Nat was intrigued by it, and he decided to go with the project. Later in October 1959, Nat was appearing in a show called Playboy's Penthouse in Chicago. The host was Hugh Hefner, and he had a well-known comic with him at the time, sitting in while Nat is explaining. That comic was the late, great Lenny Bruce. Nat goes into detail of telling the story of how this album is going to come to be and how he's going to record it. He doesn't mention it by name, but I'm pretty sure it was Wild as Love.
Recitation.
Yeah, monologue style. Yeah.
Shelley Berman. He's got the big.
Yes, I heard about it.
He's got the really catching on.
He's got the biggest seller. He really dwarfs any of the other talk albums.
I'm getting ready to make an album, not a talk album, but I'm going to do an album pretty soon, which is a thing where I do recitations prior to the song that I'm going to sing.
Franklin McCormick?
No,
Why do I love you?
Not quite that, milky.
Did you ever hear that one?
No, this is
Why
a
do I
story.
love you?
This is a story. All songs are, joined in to make a big story. And prior to each track, I say something leading into each song. Say about half a minute lyrics. No poems. This talking just like you're telling a story.
So
then
it's
you
got more
illustrate the
continuity,
song, and then each song takes this guy through a whirlwind of mad love. And he ends up at the end still way out.
You know what record that you did that sort of lent itself to that story feeling?
Recording commenced on March 1st and 2nd, 1960 at Capitol Records in Hollywood, California, Studio A. This will mark the final studio collaboration between Cole and Riddle. Although Cole and Riddle would not record again, but they would see each other from time to time and work together over the next few years on several occasions. The album was arranged by Nelson Riddle and produced by Lee Gillette. All spoken words were done by Ralph Carmichael. Capitol Records had invested close to $100,000 for the project. When the album was released, it was substantially priced higher than most albums of that time. It was $7.98 for mono, $8.98 for stereo. Cole and Riddle brought their A game into the project. When the album was released, it peaked at number 4 in the Billboard top album charts of that year. In the 1961 Grammys, Wild as Love was nominated for Album of the Year, but lost out to Bob Newhart's Button Down. Also, it was nominated for Best Engineered Album, but lost out to Hella Belafonte's Return to Carnegie Hall. Cole wanted to turn Wild as Love concept into a Broadway production, which Nat would hope to take it to Broadway. Wayne and Rausch wrote the music for the play as well. The show opened October 31st, 1960 at the Gary Theater in San Francisco, but it was panned due to a poor performance. In less than 4 months, the show closed at the Riviera in Detroit. Barbara McNair starred in the play. For those who don't know who Barbara McNair is, she was the lady that played with Elvis and Mary Tyler Moore in A Change of Habit. Capitol Records had planned to do a cast album, but the album never took place due to the poor sales of I'm With You. In 1961, Nat taped a television special for Wild as Love. It wasn't shown in the US up until 1964. It was only shown in Canada due to the physical contact between Cole and another white actor, Larry Kent, that was working in the show. Sponsors would have deemed it offensive if it would have been shown in the US at that time. In 1969, Wild as Love was re-recorded again by soul singer Patty Drew. If you ever get a chance, check it out on YouTube. Now that's my story on Nat King Cole's concept album of Wild as Love. As always, please like and subscribe to my channel. I really would appreciate it. That's it for now. Take care.
Most